where do you see the NATO-Russia relationship going in the next 10 years? And where would you like it to go? What major game changers in the NATO-Russia dynamic could you see happening in the next 5 years? I would say at the outset that I've spent a lot of my personal life and my diplomatic career working on relations with Russia, and particularly the NATO-Russia relationship. And although we've had some frustrations and we haven't fulfilled all the potential that the relationship offers, I'm still an optimist. I think that if both sides can be objective and look at what are their vital interests in the 21st century, what are the major threats and challenges that they need to deal with, what are the opportunities for collaboration that exist to the benefit of both our countries, then we should be able to expand the agenda and turn it into the strategic partnership that we've talked about. We've been trying since the 90s. The first major effort was 1997 when we signed the NATO-Russia Founding Act. 5 years later, in the Rome Declaration, we tried to upgrade the relationship by making clear that this was not the NATO allies on the one side and Russia on the other, but a group of like-minded nations, now numbering 29. But Cold War suspicions still linger, especially on the Russian side, and the areas of cooperation that we've established so far, while important, don't represent the strategic partnership that we all hope for. But I think that further collaboration in stabilizing Afghanistan and Central Asia could become a much more central area of our cooperation than it is now. And I do believe that cooperation on missile defense, on which I commented earlier, could be a true game changer, because it would show to our peoples that NATO and Russia are uniting, not just politically, but through the joining up of our military capabilities to protect against one of the most significant and growing threats in the 21st century, the threat from the proliferation of ballistic missile technology that could be joined together with weapons of mass destruction to threaten our various societies. So missile defense could be a game changer. I think also finding ways to deal with other 21st century threats are ones that we have to think about. Of course, everyone's worried about cyber attacks, although there's an element of suspicion underlying that issue that makes it hard, but not impossible, for NATO and Russia to collaborate. Energy security is another area where we could be working together. And the Arctic is an area where there has not been a military competition. And I think better NATO-Russia collaboration could keep it that way and enable us to focus on cooperative efforts to develop economic resources, to provide for safe passage through the previously frozen polar waters, to take steps to safeguard the security of the environment in the Arctic region as it becomes more and more of a focus point for international economic activities. So the relationship perhaps needs to go beyond the traditional definitions of defense and security, just as our definition of security in the 21st century is evolving as well. But there won't be a truly effective European security system until Russia is a full part, and that's been our goal since the 90s. And whatever the frustrations there may be today, we're still determined to build a strategic partnership with Russia in the future.